How about the big one? The very big one. The fourth one. Yeah, that's right. Sentenced to Dartmoor for 21 years. So dry up your tears, babe, and kiss me goodbye. The best friends must part, babe, so must you and I hear the train coming, shall be here at night. They take me to Dartmoor, leaving here goodbye to me. La 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 la. You never ride. I've counted the day.
Up two. I came here looking for something better. Here on the streets, beggars feed. You don't know me, you don't like me. You say you care, that's how I feel. Many of you that sit and judge me ever walk the streets, beggars feet. Armin, Armin, next song is a big top selection. Driver music. Power today. Hey! Was broken to me. Oh, when you told me that we were through. Hurt plans and dreams are all that seems come down, 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 down on me. Well, I'm gonna leave this world behind. I'm gonna move away. Maybe the road will heart will mend. I'll love again someday. But until then, I'm gonna be someone to pity. Well, if you see in between them and the blue sea, my world's so bad, that someday. La 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 la. Actions of love, romance, you made the debt, I paid the price, her love is gone, there's no doubt. Actions of love, the flames burn out, and the light has gone in her eyes, has gone out to my surprise. For me, my heart tells me I must forget. I pay the price, our love is gone, there's no doubt, ashes of love,
Ladies and gentlemen, before we start, a round of applause please for our musician, Billy Madden. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all very welcome here today to our N5 protest rally in Ballaghaderreen. My name is Declan O'Callaghan. I live here in Ballaghaderreen, and on behalf of Roscommon Roads Action Group and Western Roads Action Committee, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this protest rally and to thank you for coming in such large numbers to support this very important campaign and very important issue for the counties of Roscommon and Mayo. This is in many ways a historic occasion today, an occasion when two peoples of two neighbouring counties, Roscommon and Mayo, come together and pool their resources to advance the cause of roads infrastructure, and in particular the cause of the N5. In many ways as well, it's very appropriate that this joint rally should take place in Ballaghaderreen. Ballaghaderreen, of course, a town on the N5, a town in County Roscommon, but a town with strong sporting and historic connections to County Mayo as well. In 2 weeks' time we'll all meet again and be rivals on that occasion from Mayo and Roscommon. But on this occasion we all come together because we know that for the N5 it literally is now or never. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined on the platform today by representatives and members of Roscommon Roads Action Committee and Western Roads Action Committee. We have 5 speakers. We hope to get proceedings on and get proceedings over relatively quickly. We won't detain you too long. But there are some people who wish to address you, and those will be introduced to you very shortly. Now, Roscommon Roads Action Committee and Western Roads Action Committee were formed in recent months out of general frustration and concern about the ongoing decline of the N5. We all know that a good road is essential to the economic development of Roscommon and Mayo. It's essential to the safety of road users in these two counties. And the N5 is the main artery linking these counties in the heart of Connacht to our capital city and the East Coast. We have all watched in dismay in recent years as the condition of the N5 has gone down and deteriorated and seemingly got worse and worse. We had hoped that the National Development Plan, in which the government plans to spend huge amounts of money on roads, would address this issue. But that has not happened. No priority has been given to the N5. It's not on the national agenda. And in fact, for certain sections of it, nothing is planned in the line of a major overhaul for up to 20 years. The situation is simply not acceptable, and unless the road is done now, it may never be done. And that is why these two committees have come together to pool their efforts to ensure this item goes on the agenda at national level, and that a commitment is obtained from the government and the National Roads Authority to upgrade the N5 and to do it within a short period of time, hopefully by the year 2006. But ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker today is the chairman of the Roscommon Roads Action Group, Michael Donoghue. Michael Donoghue.
Thank you, Declan. First of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming out in such massive numbers today to support the protest. It's far better than we had anticipated, and it's great to see. It's a day, though, that should never have come, because we shouldn't be here as ordinary citizens of Mayo and Roscommon to form two committees to organise this protest. This should have been done years ago. I lived in America for 12 years, and I travelled home each and every one of those years, and sometimes twice. I always hired out a car in Shannon or in Dublin, and you didn't need to get the Welcome to Roscommon sign to know that you were in Roscommon, because you knew it by the state of the roads. For too long, the people in Mayo, and in particular Roscommon, have tolerated this. For too long, the politicians in both counties and in particular Roscommon, have failed to carry out work on the roads, in particular the N5. For too long, the people in both counties have let this happen, allowed it to happen. Well, not anymore. I would ask each and every one of you to encourage and to impress your views upon every member of the committee. It's very important for everyone that are acknowledged for the efforts they're making. We have enough things to do in our ordinary day besides trying to get this done, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. In some recent days there has been comments made by different people, and I heard one the other day about people jumping on the bandwagon. Well, I don't see any bandwagon because there's nothing being done for a bandwagon to be there for. But when this road is done, and it will be done, let there be a bandwagon then, and that anybody can go up on it. I don't care. As long as the road is done, I don't care who gets the credit. I don't care. And nobody else on this platform, or you people down there, shouldn't care either. But there's people out there that wants to get credit for it, and if they want to get it, let them get it. We don't care. I thank you all for coming along. And this is only another step on our journey to succeed in making the N5 a safe road to travel on. For in the year 2001, it's not acceptable. And I thank each and every one of you for coming out. Thank you.
Our next speaker represents the Hauliers who are here. These are a group of people who, of course, are particularly badly affected by the poor condition of the road and who suffer on a daily basis with damage to vehicles and so forth. He's a local man. Please welcome our next speaker, Mr. Coleman Cogan.
Thank you, Declan, and I want to thank the two committees here that has made this successful. For there have nothing been done on this N5. I've been travelling it since 1977, and I have seen the county councillors and the TDs and a lot of them talking, but I lay the blame with them. It's not with anyone else I leave the blame with. I lay the blame fair and square with the TDs and the councillors that we had here in Roscommon, because they forgot about it. Anywhere else you go through the country, Donegal, let you go to Sligo, let you go any other part of the country, and you look and see what has happened. Above on the top of Donegal, when Neil Blaney was above there was what they call Neil Blaney's motorway. But we have no motorway. What we have is a dirt track. And no man in business today with lorries could survive and operate on the N5 and turn around at the end of the year and tell anyone that he could have had made a profit. For it's costing him, for every lorry he puts out on the road, every year when he goes to MOT, it has cost him the guts of £10,000, which he shouldn't have to spend. That's his profit. And it's gone on wasteful, putting springs into lorries and bushes. And now with the new lorries that has come on stream, we cannot even afford to bring them around the place because it falls us under in a week. So what I say is that the Thurmanbarry ramp at Thurmanbarry, that it should be lifted and not let down until the N5 is done. Stop using it. That's what I think that should happen. We had a man in Tulsk at the last meeting that I was at, and he said that if he gets to be elected on the new when the election comes, he's Greg Kelly from Cashlery, that he'll call it Greg Kelly's motorway. Well, I hope so, that he'll be elected, and I hope to see a motorway in it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, is the chairman of the Council for the West. The Council for the West is an independent organisation which lobbies for economic and other developments for the west of Ireland. It was set up in 1994 and it's a voluntary non-profit making organisation, but it's done great work in lobbying for various improvements for the west over the last number of years. And today I'm delighted to welcome to the platform as our next speaker, the chairman of the Council for the West, Mr. Dan Gilmartin.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends from the west of Ireland, it's a privilege and a pleasure to stand on this platform today to address you in support of the legitimate protest which has taken place here today. It shows the concern of people, especially the people who are granted the expense of buying elaborate and expensive lorries and machinery, when they have to be forced to come on a good Sunday afternoon. They could be out enjoying the evening with their families at the beach or somewhere. The Council for the West is delighted to be able to participate in this demonstration. But this extends to a whole wider area than just roads, even though roads are very important. And to deal with the road situation, it's ironic that when there was about £600 million provided for the development of the N4 and the N5, which is this particular road, that the bulk of that money was actually spent east of Kinnegad. We cannot afford to go down a road where there's so much discrimination against a particular section of the community. We have to insist that we get what's our right, and the only way we can get that right is bring it home forcibly to the people who are in a position to grant us that. Maybe Charlie McCreevy wasn't too far of the mark when he said the people responded the other day to the referendum. And in spite of the fact that all of the establishment in every organisation and political sphere were in favour of a vote for yes, the people went out and they said no. I'm convinced that an awful lot of that no came from a disillusioned, dissatisfied group of people who were nearly so much concerned with the referendum, with the Nice referendum, as they were with the victimisation and the position they've been forced into here at home. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also in that situation in regard to power lines, in regard to fibre optic cables, in regard to gas. And the gas find off the coast of Mayo here is being directed down through West Mayo, through Galway, onto Limerick and back to Dublin. And none of it's servicing the province of Connacht where it should be servicing it. Similarly with the fibre optic cable, we had a commitment from Aircom that they were going to provide a fibre optic cable for the west of Ireland, and that there would be an adequate supply of broadband IT there to meet the demands of the area. Now, a month ago they tell us they're not going to continue with that project and they're going to wait to see what the demand will be. If DSB had adopted that particular attitude back in the 1950s, before they decided to put electrification into the rural houses, we'd be all going around with a candle and a match today, and we wouldn't have electrification. It's tremendously important that if we are to succeed in the west of Ireland, that the infrastructure be in place, and the most basic infrastructure is the road, because people surely have a legitimate right to get from one area to another unimpeded and in the most convenient way possible, without risking life on limb on bad roads, narrow roads, and roads that haven't been serviced properly for years. We are not looking to have the countryside scarified by huge autobahns and motorways. We simply want a serviceable road that will accommodate the traffic that's on it and allow the people to travel to and from their business. We want a road that will not be ashamed of when our friends come in from abroad to have a view of what we have here. We want a whole lot of other things. We want an opportunity to develop the west of Ireland. We don't want to be constricted with severe planning regulations and tremendous laws that sort of impede progress in every area. There's no reason in the world why anybody's right to a view, be he from Detroit or Durban, be he from Düsseldorf or Dublin, should supersede that of an individual who wants to provide accommodation and shelter for his or her wife and family, for his or her spouse and family. Ladies and gentlemen, I concur totally with the views expressed here, and I would hope that the people who are in a position to take notice sit up and take notice. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Dan. Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, is from Mayo, Mr. Sean Reynolds.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, but I wonder who the Mr. is. I'm plain Sean Reynolds. I'm first of all delighted to be here, to be asked to say something to you people, as I already addressed the meeting in Castlebar held some months ago. I compliment and congratulate the organisers of this protest here today. They have done a splendid job in helping to highlight the deprivation and the poverty of resources that has been spent in the west of Ireland, and neglect for the last 70 or 80 years of the west of Ireland. It's a disgrace, and the referendum and the people of Mayo said no, and along with many other people. It was long overdue to give a government a message. Arrogant government who have loads of money and are contemplating spending 1,000 million of that money, or £1 billion, on a stadium in Dublin that's already bursting at the seams with traffic and congestion. It is a disgrace, ladies and gentlemen. And seeing that I am talking about the road, I would describe this road, as has been described already, as a third world mud path. And we have taken and sat idly by and sat down and haven't taken the action sooner than we are taking now, but it's better late than never. And let me say this, that the infrastructure in general in the West, it takes 4 hours and 50 minutes to get by train from Castlebar to Dublin. People who are handicapped or physically handicapped and are in wheelchairs have to travel in the guard's van or in the dining car. There are no facilities for them. A woman phoned Joe Duffy recently and said she voted no in the referendum because she has spent 3 days, she's 78 years of age, on a hospital trolley because there were no facilities to treat her. Here we are in the same situation, and I am suggesting, as I suggested in Castlebar, that if this protest does not bring results, that this protest be taken to the streets of Dublin. And that we all, men, women and children, march from Mayo and Roscommon and anywhere else that people care to join us from, and pick it all Éireann, and let them know that we are not asleep, that we have fights left in us, and that we want action on this road now, not in 2 years' time, or 5 years' time, or 10 years' time. The cheek of them to think that they have proposed that they'll do something with this road in the year 2018 or 19. That's no good to us. The economic development of Mayo, Roscommon and the West is impeded by the lack of poor facilities to bring industrial development in. We know about the electricity that Mr. Gilmartin referred to and the fibre optic cables. I'm also suggesting that if all that action doesn't bring any results, that the committees here would seriously consider putting the candidate up for election in the next election from some party. Take a seat from some of those people who haven't cared. Some years ago, I met an engineer in Mayo on a delegation. I said to him, the road from the west, from Longford down is a disgrace. Oh, he said the traffic doesn't warrant improving that road. The arrogance of him. Of course, I didn't let him off on it. I said, right, the traffic is such because the road is bad, not the other way around. I compliment again and congratulate the people that took the initiative to set up these committees and to organise this protest here today. It is our democratic right to protest peacefully and within the laws. We are all law-abiding citizens, and none more than me. But at the same time, we have to assert our rights and seek our democratic rights to be treated as first citizens, not second-class citizens, as we have been treated for years. And I've driven along this road many times in my car, and I have great sympathy for the people who drive big trucks, and indeed for all forms of people who use this road. But I do think, as I said, and I strongly recommend it to the committee, that a very powerful memorandum be prepared, and that Mr. Ahern be made aware, very forcefully by the people involved, of our feelings, and that, as I said, we want action now. Or failing that, will be on the political platform on the next election, making it very hard. And who knows, a candidate elected on the roads issue on this road could hold the balance of power in the next round. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for bearing with me. I am very, very, very angry, as many other people are, at the way we have been treated. And I, for one, am willing to help in any way I can and to advance the cause taken up by these committees. I compliment them again on the splendid work they are doing. Thank you, Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Sean. Well done. We have one more speaker to go, ladies and gentlemen. Before I introduce him, I just want to express our thanks and appreciation to a few people and a few groups in relation to today's rally. First of all, here in front of me, I see, and glad to see, a number of our local politicians and public representatives. They, of course, have had a very important role to play in this whole matter. We hope now they will take this issue to heart, take it on seriously, and ensure that it's placed right at the top of the national agenda. We need your help on this, and that help, I'm sure, will be rewarded, because this is an issue that's important, it's not going to go away, and the people want and demand equality and fairness insofar as roads are concerned. That's very true. We're not going to go away. We're going to stick with this issue until it's dealt with. Secondly, I want to thank all the stewards who assisted today in helping move traffic. Also, the Gardaí for their assistance as always in arranging such protests and meetings here in Ballaghaderreen. Again, I want to thank our musician, Billy Madden, for his entertainment before the rally. I also want to thank the media, both the national media and the local media, for their coverage, excellent coverage of the rally. Our local radio stations, our local papers, our national TV stations. We'll see that coverage here. And we're hoping that that coverage will help to take the message out from Ballaghaderreen today. The message being that the people of Roscommon and Mayo demand their fair share, demand their entitlement to a proper access road, the same as every other county in the country. And that demand has to go out. It must be heard in the corridors of power, and we will not rest until this issue is placed right at the top of the agenda and there's a commitment given. Because what we demand is a commitment from government, a commitment from the National Roads Authority to deal now with the issue of the N5. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, our last speaker today, I'm pleased to introduce him to you. He's a man who's put a lot of effort into this issue to date, the chairman of the Western Roads Action Committee, Mr. Michael Holmes.
Thank you, Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just looking out here at a good friend of mine, Tom Healy from Foxford, and he's holding up a placard there. And you know, I think if he came up here and turned that out to you, we could all go home because it says the lot. And I'll just read it for you. If you turn it this way, Tom, it says, byways for the west, highways for the rest. But please make no mistake, the west is wide awake. I'm delighted to be here in conjunction with the Roscommon Road Action Committee to highlight this problem. The Western Road Action Committee, which I am chairman of and is based in Mayo, was formed maybe a little longer than the Roscommon Road Action Committee. And we had a public rally about 2 months ago in Castlebar. And following that, we had a meeting with the National Roads Authority. Now, some people come up naturally enough and they say, are you making any progress? Well, we certainly made a bit of progress in that we succeeded in meeting with the National Roads Authority. And that progress was that we got facts and figures, something that we had failed to get up until that. And I'd nearly make an apology to some of the people in Castlebar because I think some of the information we gave was a little bit misleading. In that we told them that some of the road to be built was to be done in a time of 2015 to 2019. Well, when we met the National Roads Authority, we discovered that that was misleading information because it's not even within that time scale. And I'll just give it a little rundown and maybe what the plans are. There is a plan to build it. We are looking for, both committees are looking for a new road.
Yes, here.
A new road, not patching, not little bits of widening, not messing about here and there. We're looking for a new road from Termon Barry to Westport.
Here.
is a plan to start on a new road from Termonbarry to Scramove just outside Strokestown. That hopefully will start this year, and that's the little bit of good news. The road from Castlebar to Westport is also being planned. We were told it would start in about 2 years' time. Because of the foot and mouth, that's put back another year. It's amazing how the government benefit by the foot and mouth, wasn't it? Is the Charlestown bypass. Again, years down the road, and both the Westport Road and the Charlestown Road, you don't expect to run a car on that for 6 or 7 years at the earliest. And those are the bits of good news. There's a section from where we're here today in Ballaghaderreen to Strokestown, and there's no plan to build a new road. And when you hear politicians giving commitments and politicians saying they met the National Road Authority and they got a commitment, there is absolutely no commitment there to build a new road. Yes, there's a commitment there in the years to come to upgrade the road. But somebody with a wheelbarrow and a shovel of tar could upgrade the road. We're not talking about that. And what we're demanding, as I say, is a new road, and that's not an unreasonable demand, because every one of the other 31 counties in Ireland got a good road leading across the county boundary from the capital, Dublin. Mayo is the only county in Ireland of the 32 that hasn't a good road crossing the county boundary into the county. The only county of the 32. And I challenge anyone to come up with something that will contradict that. That is totally unacceptable. We have succeeded in getting Objective 1 status for this region, and that was a major achievement. But that's not worth the damn if we don't succeed in getting industry into the West. And what you must remember is that if somebody got off a plane in Dublin this evening with the intention of setting up an industry in the Objective 1 region, and that's the region that would obviously target, they could look down the road from Dublin Airport and they'd see the lights of Drogheda. Drogheda is in Louth, and Louth is in an Objective 1 region. They could decide to go down that 10 minutes or 15 minutes of a motorway to Drogheda and set up in the Objective 1 region. Or they could drive across to Roscommon or to Castlebar or Ballina across 150 or 60 miles of a bad road and try and set up there. Which do you think they do? I believe that they're intelligent people and that look for the intelligent option. And if there weren't intelligent people, well then they shouldn't be setting up here in the first place. This fortnight, ladies and gentlemen, when we were in the middle of organising this campaign, I happened to be in Donegal, and I bought the Donegal Democrat. And I saw where our Taoiseach Bertie Ahern had come a few days earlier to open the new road up towards Kerry, up towards Letterkenny, up to Ballybuffy. And I drove out on this day fortnight while I were in the middle of organising this, and I had a look at that fantastic road. A fantastic road that you'd land jet planes on. And you have a good road leading up through the centre of Donegal, as you have in other counties. And I just thought to myself, and I don't begrudge the Donegal people their good road, they're entitled to every inch of it. But I thought here were we in Mayo and Roscommon organising a rally, and listening to politicians saying that maybe we should get another needs study done, and maybe we should try to get it on the National Development Plan, and maybe when we get in power, and maybe, and maybe, and maybe. Another sheep tag job is right. Last Friday, I done a little bit on Midwest Radio, and immediately after I did it, a councillor from this county came on the radio. He was concerned that a disruption like this might harm the tourism industry. I come from a county where tourism is very, very important, as it is here in parts of Roscommon as well. In Mayo, we're very proud of our county, and it has huge potential in the tourism industry, and it's an industry that we need, and we need very badly. Now, I don't know did this disruption harm that tourism industry, But I can say to that politician that his lack of action and the lack of action of his colleagues over this last 30 years has done more harm to the tourism in Mayo than this protest rally will do. These two committees, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to finish off, it's made up of ordinary, everyday people from both Roscommon and Mayo that have come together. Different organisations, and nearly every organisation in both counties is represented. But nevertheless, we're only ordinary people doing an ordinary day's work. And you people that came here are ordinary people driving lorries and buses and cars and up and down that road. Some people goes up and down 5 times a week to make a living on it. Others only goes up maybe 5 or 6 times a year. But that's not here nor there, you're all concerned. But you're all ordinary people. But the ordinary people of this country gave the main political parties, and I won't just say the government, but they gave the main political parties of this country a lesson a week ago. And I think it woke them up. I think this type of people that we have here today, you people, and the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are supporting you at home, is in the mood for giving those main political parties another bit of a rude waking up. But as some of the previous speakers said here today, and I know it was said, and it was said mainly in political circles when we started back in Mayo, and I'm sure when you started here in Roscommon, that this was only a flash in the pan. Those lads will go away. And I know some of the things that some of the politicians said coming in to meet us in County Mayo. I didn't hear what they said in Roscommon, but I presume it might be the same. But I can tell you that these, if they go away, there's only one way they'll do that. Either build roads or shoot us, because we're definitely not going to go away. Just on behalf of the Western Roads Action Committee, again I want to thank our colleagues in Roscommon for having us. This day fortnight will be in Hyde Park, both sets of groups. We won't go into it who'll win or who won't win, but I say that whoever wins, I hope to go on to win the Sam Maguire. And the whole crowd of people that's here will be behind that team. But more importantly, the whole crowd of people that's here will be behind the two teams that's up here, and I have no doubt about that. Just the Gordy has asked me maybe to say to the people to get the traffic flowing, because we'll be wrapping it up in a couple of minutes, that maybe if the people from Roscommon was to go on that way, go around the town and come back, and the traffic from Mayo go up and turn at the Tabohan Crossroad and come down, maybe we'll get the crowd dispersed and the people back to their homes and whatever. The only thing I say to the people here today is, in thanking you finally for coming, be prepared. Be prepared for more of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Michael there has summed up this whole issue very, very well. It's a people-driven situation. Unless the plain ordinary people of Roscommon and Mayo are serious about this issue, stick with it and drive it through until it's finished. This road will never be done. And if this road is not done, the effect on these two counties will be irreversible. It will be disastrous. So, as we said at the start, ladies and gentlemen, for the N5, it's now or never. Just before I finish, I just want to thank, on behalf of all of you, I'm sure, the members of both committees from Roscommon and from Mayo who are present here on the platform. A round of applause for the members of the committees, please. So with that, again, we thank you for coming in such numbers to show your solidarity with this issue. Wish you a safe journey home. And hopefully, if necessary, we meet again. And we'll stick with the issue and we'll persevere with it until we meet success. Thank you very much.
She'll get home anyways, I'd say. Oh, we're going to potatoes now. No, but I